What is up, everybody? It's Wacka. Welcome back for the next week of the WPF Magikarp League Season 8. This week we're facing Kronos, who has the composition of Jirachi, Lycanroc Dusk, Comfey, Conkeldurr, Electivire, Mega Absol, Mamoswine, Shaman, Golbat, Noivern, and Samurott. Now his team is really offensive, so it's kind of weird to decide if I wanted to hit back pretty offensively or if I wanted to hope that I can tank some hits, because stuff like Life Orb, Samurott two-shots my entire team. Golbat is a huge annoyance with the Poison Fang shenanigans. Mamo is obviously like Mamo and Conkeldurr are just like some of the biggest threats ever in Draft League. Just like Choice Band and Gut Sets. Electivire has a lot of coverage and can hit pretty hard. Mega Absol has a ginormous attack stat, and it has a lot of coverage for like no reason. Like it gets Ice Beam and like Play Rough and Fire Blast. He also has Comfey, which gets walled by like steals and fires, but if you let that thing set up, if they remove the steel and the fire types from the field, you're basically donezo. And then you got Lycanroc, which hits pretty hard with a Cell Rock, and he doesn't really have a way to give it. Oh, never mind. I thought it got I thought Lycanroc got Sand Rush, but I don't think it does. And then he has Jirachi, which can run like Wish sets. It can run Scarf, Iron Head, and just flinch everything. It's basically Steel Psychic Togekiss in a way. So it took me a little bit, and I had a few things in my prep planned out, especially the top four. So let's get into what I have done. So the first one is Tangrowth, and it's going to be holding the Expert Belt with 212 HP, 200 defense, and 96 special attack. Quiet Nature, which is minus speed plus special attack. And the idea behind this is that with the EVs that I think he might run on Mamo, if it's banded, I live a banded Ice Skull Crash if I don't flinch. Hopefully I wouldn't flinch. If I do, I'm a little bit screwed. I got Giga Drain because Giga Drain will one-shot the Mamoswine with Expert Belt. With the EVs, I think it'll run. It should always one-shot Lycanroc Dusk unless it's sashed, obviously. And then Giga Drain in general just like is a good healing move that I think I'll probably need to use because he has a few things weak to it. He has a lot of frail mons that don't really want to take Giga Drains. I got Knockoff for things that'll switch in like Golbat and Noivern that either want their boots or their Violite. We got Sludge Bomb for Shaman and Comfey, which I believe it'll two-shot both of them. I believe it might also do quite a lot to Noivern, and then overall we just got Leech Seed so I can get the heals. I don't think Shaman really has like the best way to hit Tangrowth. And if it does, I'm pretty sure Torn is my switch into Shaman anyway. Next we got Scrafty with the Choppleberry, because the idea behind it is if I think he might lead Conk or Mamoswine, I can choose whether or not I want to set up a bulk up, or if I just straight up want to go for Drain Punch or Knock Off, I'll take any fighting move that they might throw at me. Commonly, I think Electivire and Absol can run fighting coverage too, and I think Samurott even gets Secret Sword or Sacred Sword. So that's something to run. I'm running the Drain Punch so I can heal. Knockoff to remove some items. I'm running a lot of knockoff this week actually, because a lot of his mons like their items, like their choice band, um, their flame orb, a violite, life orb, focus sash, even stuff like that. A lot of his mons like items, leftovers even. Um, and then we got the poison jab in case he wants to switch into Comfy. Because Comfy, as I said, is a huge threat to pretty much every team. Just because it has like priority healing, basically. It's basically like a prankster mon that'll set up Calm Minds and Draining Kiss you, and you're pretty much done. Then we got Metagross with the Shuka Berry, because the idea behind that is that I can take on Mamoswine, and I'm pretty sure even though Iron Head shouldn't KO it, Bullet Punch will after an Iron Head. I really have a lot of answers to Mamoswine, as you can see. I really don't want that thing to set up and just kill me. But yeah. And he could also run Scarf, which is the thing. I don't think he runs Scarf, though, unless he really wants to outspeed Torn. I don't think his team is that scared of Torn, though, however, but maybe. Anyways, next we got All Creamy, which is pretty similar to last week. I'm pretty sure last week I ran Draining Kiss over Dazzling Gleam. I don't actually remember, but I'm running Mystical Fire this week because the idea behind it is that I can lower the attack or the special attack of like Noivern or a Samurott if they switch in. I can run. I can lower the attack of Shaman, special Jirachi, Comfy, Electivire, and Absol if they're special for whatever reason. I don't see Absol staying in on All Creamy. And then I can set up the Acid Armor so that I can take pretty much every hit that he's going to want to dish out at me, as long as he's not like setting up or if he's like specs Samurott, as I said. I didn't realize how big of a threat Samurott was until like right before recording this, because I originally had Cinderace over Electros, but I was like, I need something that can switch in on Samurott. So next we got Torn, and I decided I needed to bring a Defogger because he likes to lead his rocks, like Jirachi, Mamo, Lycanroc, I think it's rocks too. He likes to lead those a lot, and I think rocks over time will wear me down. And honestly, I didn't really need a 6th slot. I could have probably brought Cinderace, but Kronos doesn't like to switch out that much from what I noticed. He likes to just stay in and click moves, hoping to do more, which isn't really my play style, but I really do just want to take some hits. Paired with Tangrowth, Torn should be able to take some hits. I thought about running Assault Vest, but I think it's probably better if I run Heavy Duty Boots for the rocks. And then Hurricane should one-shot the Conkeldurr. If it doesn't, I'd be surprised. I'm pretty sure I'm EV to kill Conkeldurr. And then again, we got Knockoff, because everything that has Knockoff on my team is running Knockoff. He could switch in Electivire on this thing, probably, because I don't think Tarn really has the best way to hit Electivire. Unless it's like a nasty plot set, but even then I'm pretty sure it lives like nasty plot. Like, I don't even know what Torn does, like Sludge Wave to it, maybe. I'm pretty sure Torn gets Sludge Bomb or Sludge Wave. That could just be Thunderous, though. And then Defog, obviously, because he's probably gonna have a rocker this week. He has his own Defoggers, but I'm also not running my own rocks. because I figured I should run Ice Punch on Metagross for Noivern and Golbat. More Noivern and Shaman, but I did want to bring that coverage for it. And I'm still Shuka Berry, so I can take an Earthquake or an Earth Power if I need to. And I'm pretty sure Metagross will probably get a kill this match too. I don't see myself getting 6-0'd unless I play like horribly. But yeah, now we got our fun one this week. As you can see, I'm invested in literally all of my stats except defense. Which might end up being a problem later because he does have those physical threats on his team. But the idea here is that because Electros has like no weaknesses, I pretty much live like any hit. It has Acid Spray mainly because Comfy, if it starts setting up Calm Minds, I don't want it to just stay around and like keep living all these moves. And Acid Spray has a 100% chance to lower the target's special defense by 2. And then if he goes into Jirachi, I can just click Knock Off and it'll do quite a lot to it. And then, or I can just switch out into whatever wants to deal with Jirachi, probably Scrafty. Although I'm pretty sure Jirachi gets Dazzling Gleam or Play Rough, if I remember. So I'll probably just want to knock off and see what it does, but you know. And then we got knock off again. I was running U-turn because I originally wanted some momentum, but I decided I needed knock off because Jirachi and Golbat absolutely wall this Electros because I'm not running electric move. The reason why I'm not running Volt Switch is because Electivire and Mamoswine will just wall it and get the motor drive effect, and then honestly just a free switch into Mamo is just something I don't want. So yeah, that is the team. If I decide to change anything, I'll mention it before the match starts, but I'll see you when the match starts. Thank you for watching as of this far. And we are back with the battle. Looks like he brought the Jirachi, the Samurott, Noivern, Conkeldurr, Lycanroc, and Electivire. No Mamoswine, which I think surprised me. I think if he were to bring Mamoswine, I thought he probably would have replaced it over Lycanroc. But seeing that the Lycanroc is here, I figured maybe he was running rocks. He actually brought the Samurott, which didn't really surprise me because Samurott actually is pretty scary against my team because my team doesn't actually handle bulky waters very well, which is kind of sad actually. But I do have Assault Vest, Electros. I don't think I was max special defense. I'm actually recording this a few days after the match actually happened because we ended up doing the match at like 3 in the morning, and I did not want to record at 3:30 in the morning because this match actually did go by a lot faster than I thought it would have. Even though his team is basically like all hyper offense. So yeah, so let's get started. I don't remember what I led off with actually. I think my thought was Tangrowth matches up pretty decently against everything here except Noivern, and I'm pretty sure he leads the Noivern and I go Tangrowth. And he knows that I'm Expert Belt now, which shouldn't really matter because he didn't bring Mamo. So I go straight into Alcremie because Alcremie is my only answer. He does get the Air Slash flinch, which was kind of bad, but then I figured I should be able to live another hits and then possibly recover off some damage. I decided to Mystical Fire so that Air Slash didn't do as much damage in case he started to like flinch me to death. And basically I just recover because I know this Noivern can't really do much. He decides to keep staying in even though there is that threat of Dazzling Gleam, which sadly doesn't kill, but in a way it was probably good that it didn't kill because I also want to recover some damage that he's done, and he's gonna spam Super Fang a lot. I have noticed he's like to run Super Fang on his Noivern and his Golbat. So I kind of expected it. So I'm like, well, he's just gonna keep Super Fanging. I'm just gonna set up some Iron defenses because I think I can basically 1v1 almost everything on his team. Except for whatever his switching is, and I didn't know what it was at the time. I thought maybe Samurott with Toxic or something, but he goes Electivire. And according to Kronos, his Electivire is actually his all creamy answer with Toxic. And instead of Heal Bell, I did run the Mystical Fire. I do kind of regret running Mystical Fire over Heal Bell because, yeah, now all creamy it can't just stay in 6-0, which is fine. It wouldn't probably have 6-0'd anyways because he actually brought more special sets than I thought he would have. He actually has a mixed Samurai, and I don't think he was running attack. I should have calced the knockoff damage, and then he scalds, and I realized it does like a lot to Electros because he actually knocked off my AV. And now Electros can't stay in and click moves. So basically my option is to try to get some chip on Samurai and get a Mystical Fire off. I realized I was faster, which I thought was funny. He must have been running min speed now that I think about it, because I'm pretty sure Samurot's base speed is like 70 and all creamy is at 64. So after getting the Mystical Fire and then realizing that Recover is just not going to heal me above Scald damage plus Recover, or Recover is not going to get me past Scald damage plus Toxic. So I go Torn and I U-turn into Scrafty so I can drop his attack just in case he was like physical in a way. And I'm pretty sure I just kill Scrafty because I think at that point I'm like, yeah, Scrafty's probably like the most expendable member because he doesn't have Mamo. And I also can't stay in on Jirachi because I was actually worried here about Play Rough because I thought he'd be like an Iron Head flinch set because my team is pretty slow and he could honestly just like flinch my entire team to death other than Torn and maybe Metagross because Metagross also walls Jirachi. Although I'm pretty sure Jirachi gets Fire Punch. I could be wrong about that. I know it gets Drain Punch, so I figured Metagross probably loses 1v1. Unless I'm Earthquake, which he could be wary of Earthquake, I suppose. So here I'm like, well, he's special Jirachi, so I have to switch into Metagross, and I figured he might be worried about like Earthquake. So here he just sacks his Noivern. I honestly just clicked Iron Head hoping for a flinch, just in case he were to switch out and basically let something die. Here I decided to sack off Electros because Electros basically did its job, which was to scout out Samurott to see what it was. And once I did that, I realized Scrafty can probably kill with like Drain Punch. I'm pretty sure Knockoff also killed, but the idea here is that like if I go Knockoff, then I don't get much healing out of it. In hindsight, I probably should have knocked off so I can knock off possibly a Flame Orb on Conk. which he didn't actually run Conk. I'm pretty sure he was Expert Belt. Now here I thought he would click like some kind of fighting move. If he clicked Mach Punch, all Creamy was gonna live. I'm pretty sure, although after Toxic Poison I should die. So I decided to just go Metagross. If he Mach Punches me, it's whatever. I should live and Zen Headbutt should kill. And then here I thought maybe he would Crunch. And I wasn't running Colbur. And it turns out he has Sucker Punch, which I thought was kind of funny. And now I realize why he has the Lycanroc, which is properly nicknamed Wolf, by the way. His only nicknamed team member. He said it was an accident, apparently, but yeah. I didn't really know Lycanroc Dust got Play Rough. Which is, I guess that's good for next time. I should probably look more into some sets. I figured it would have been like Sucker Punch, Stealth Rock, Cell Rock, and then like Stone Edge. But it has Play Rough, and it also has Fire Fang, which I was weary of because Tangrowth, I don't think takes Fire Fang that well. Although at -1, it probably could have. If I switched into Tangrowth, I probably could have savored possibly getting swept by this thing, but so I go Tangrowth. He ends up switching out. I figured he would switch, so I go for the Leech Seed because I figure if he goes Jirachi, then I at least get the Leech Seed, and I can also knock off his item, which turns out to be Expert Belt, which I thought was kind of funny because I was also Expert Belt Tangrowth, which almost kills the Jirachi. So here I just go into Metagross so I can get some healing back just in case I really need it. And since I don't have status moves on Metagross, my only option was to just hit it with something, with whatever kills. I don't think Bullet Punch killed, but I would have liked the HP on this thing because I'm pretty sure I could have maybe lived another hit with whatever left, or with whatever Leech Seed damage I get back. So here I decided to Ice Punch because Ice Punch is my only move that 100% kills, since Zen Headbutt could probably miss. And that could honestly cost me the game, so I decided to do that. And then here I Bullet Punched because I wasn't sure if he'd just Sucker Punch and kill me. I'm pretty sure Sucker Punch priority would have beat me because he is faster. But I decided to go for it just in case he went for whatever move. I was kind of hoping like Crit could kill me. I don't know if he was Focus Sash actually. I don't remember what he said his item was, because he sent me his paste. I'll probably have to check that, but Drill Run's gonna kill me even through Shuka Berry, so I decide, well, a Cell Rock could probably kill Torn. As much as I really want Torn to like do something in a match at some point, I decided the safe play was to go Tangrowth and Giga Drain and win the game 2-0. And I feel like I definitely could have savored like a 3-0 or a 4-0 by knowing that Lycanroc has Play Rough, but I didn't know that, sadly, so yeah, that is the match basically. I would have had to risk him going for like double Fire Fang on Tangrowth though, and that's just something I didn't want to risk. Or like even like a burn could have maybe done something to me. But yeah, that was a good match. That Samurott really threw me off. Him staying in on Noivern, I don't know why he did that, because if he went like Jirachi and just like clicked Iron Head, he could have lost. But he did bring special Jirachi. I don't know if he actually had Flash Cannon. The one thing I do remember though is that he didn't actually have a fighting move on Conk, which is surprising because even though my team isn't really weak to fighting, I kind of thought that he could run a fighting move on Conk because it does hit my team pretty hard neutrally, and like even Torn doesn't really want to take like Guts guts boosted like close combats. I'm pretty sure I could even get like one shot by that probably. And Tangrowth gets two shot by it. Um, but yeah, good games to Kronos. I think next week we face Twitch. Um, and his team has like Heatran and Empoleon, Mega Beedrill, I think. He has a lot of really scary threats, but I think it's going to be a fun match. And then after week 6, I will go in depth on my thoughts on the season so far. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you guys next week.